If you're the parent of a high school or college student, stick with me. Everybody else, just keep scrolling. Today we're going to talk about picking a major. Last night in my class called Pick the Right Major, I asked them the question, what is your biggest concern right now about picking a career path and a college major? And the top answer was very clear. Their biggest concern was they're afraid of making this big decision because they don't want to make a mistake. So how do you handle that? First thing you want to do with your kiddo is help them understand this is not one big decision that they're making. It's actually a lot of little decisions. So let's talk through that. The first thing that you're going to want them to do is sit down and write down. What are their preferences? What are their skills? What are their interests? In my silver bullet, I also layer in what are their natural talents using the Clifton Strengths Assessment. I'll put info about that in the comment section. Next, let's have them rule out all the things that they know they don't want to do. I hear from a lot of students that math is not their jam. And if it's not, we can rule out a lot of stuff. We can rule out accounting, we can rule out finance, we can rule out data analysis. And once they've done that, I want you to start having them talk about those interests, skills, preferences, and talents, and you start to look for the patterns. Typically what I see is these kids end up into what I call the pie shape, where all of these ideas start to kind of bunch up into a certain area. Once you're there, a major is pretty easy to figure out. You're usually picking between 1, 2, or 3 majors that make sense for them to go in that direction. Okay, so we've made a lot of little decisions already. Once they get to college and they're in that pie shape, guess what happens? They get to try all kinds of classes. And as they're doing that, they're adding to their list of, I liked that, I didn't like this. What's going to happen over time is this pie shape is going to start to narrow based on classes, based on internships, based on jobs that they have during college. And by the end of college, what's going to happen is that pie shape's going to get fairly narrow and they're going to know what job to go after right out of college. I know this sounds like a simple process, and quite frankly, it is. It's simple, but it's not easy. If you have any questions, drop them into the comments. I'd be happy to help.